Welcome to my tutorial for Gears 5 on Insane. And there's nothing too hard here. I'm going to show optional battles as well as the main battles, because it is worth doing some of the optional battles because you can get some pretty good upgrades. I'm also going to show where another one of the relic weapons is. There's a Boltok that's fucking great. It's called Gunslinger Boltok, and it's a faster firing version of the Boltok, and I guess it handles better too. But yeah, it definitely seems quite a bit better, so that's worth picking up. Very easy to get. I'm going to try to show on the map where some of those things are, but I would only recommend getting the Relic Sniper long shot and the Gunslinger Boltok Relic for Insane mode. The other weapons, from what I've seen, they don't look to be that useful for Insane, so I would only recommend those two weapons. I believe I show where the long shot relic is as well, but I recommend checking a video on YouTube and just look up where the relic weapons are located if if it's not clear in my video. That's what I did, but I do show I definitely show the Boltok where it is on the map, so it should give you a good idea. Now this part's pretty easy. You basically want to stealth kill as many of these robots as you can initially. So you can stealth kill a lot of them. For some of the groups you may want to throw down a grenade or something to speed it up, but as long as you backtrack once you initiate them and get them coming at you, you can just kind of just walk back and shoot at them with the Boltok. I would try not to waste any of your better ammo on these guys. If you have the Lancer, this part would be very easy because you could chainsaw these guys without getting killed, as long as they're separated from each other. As usual, you don't want to chainsaw these robots when they're grouped together because then the other one can kill you. But as long as you can single them out, you can kill them off with the chainsaw, and it should be very easy for this part. Of course, headshots will speed up the fight. Another thing you can do is lure these guys to chase you, and you can use your stim to give you a little bit of invincibility and roll through the fog. It's like that poisonous steam. You can roll through where that is at the beginning of this area, and you can lure them into that steam, and they'll just get killed instantly from that. I did try to do that, but I edited it down because they never actually showed up, so I didn't do it right. But I have seen it done before in videos, so it is an option if you're having trouble with this for some reason, but it's really not hard if you've gotten this far. I had a tri-shot, which is extremely powerful, but I was saving it, for some harder parts because, it's a very easy part, so I wanted to save it up. Sometimes a robot can get in your fucking way just like your squad mates when you're trying to get the fuck out. But yeah, overall very easy. I actually end up losing my ability to use my gun for quite a while, and I thought I might be fucked and have to restart the entire game over, which I probably wouldn't have done anytime soon. But when I exited the game completely, the glitch went away and I was able to fire my weapons again. But I did have to beat a section with without any weapons, so I'll show that, since that's what I had to end up doing. But you won't have to do that, but it shows that if you want to, you can pretty much run through that part. So I will, I'll demonstrate that. It's not really, it may be my recommended way to do that part, since it really makes it quick and you really don't have to fight anybody, but it is easy to fuck up. You can definitely get killed. So you may want to fight some of the enemies, but I ended up finding it better just to haul ass anyway, but I didn't really have a choice if I wanted to. I guess if I would have restarted the entire game and went out to the menu, maybe my guns would have worked again, but I didn't think about doing that at that time. But then, later I realized my gun still didn't work even when I got the next checkpoint, so I was like, I might be fucked. But then the game fixed itself. But, I had to completely exit the game and restart it. So yeah, just get one of these guys to come after you, and they'll go right into that smoke and die. Very easy. And that clears out this area. Now this area, it's not hard, but it's more of an annoying section because you have to deal with this bullet sponge enemy, which is just very tedious and annoying. You have a few robots that come after you, so, you know, if they get too close, try to kill them. But I was mainly just focusing on the flock, I think it's called. That swarm of enemies. If you still have your tri-shot, you can kill it a lot faster. Otherwise, you're just going to be, you know, exhausting a lot of your ammo from all your different weapons to take the thing out, which just takes long and it wastes a lot of ammo. Now, if you went in your accessibility menu and set the control to holding down B to get out of, instead of mashing B to get out of, like, enemy holds and things like that, you can just hold B down and you'll get out every time. So it's probably a lot more reliable than trying to mash your way out of that on Insane with, you know, trying to mash B. It may not be as consistent to get out of that, but you'll get out of it every time if you have it set to hold. But yeah, just take cover when the thing turns reddish. It's about to bolt out at you and hit you. And just keep gunning it, basically. You know, they're quite easy. They just take a long time to kill. There may only be one robot that comes out at you. I know there wasn't many of them. It was mainly the flock that was a pain in the ass. And it shoots out those leeches that come at you, so you got to be ready to take those out. But you can just kick them, basically, or stab them. It's a little bit irritating to fight it in this area because it's a real small area, so it gets kind of annoying with the camera and shit everywhere. But, you know, it's really not hard. Don't forget to use your stim if you need it when you're about to die or your health is low. It can save your ass. If you hit it at the last moment, it'll save you from getting finished off. Yeah, I've pretty much been running around with two sniper rifles and a Boltok for a lot of Insane now since I've gotten that Relic sniper rifle, which is great because if you hit the active reload perfectly, you'll get 2 shots before you have to reload instead of just 1, which can make a huge difference with the sniper rifle since it does so much damage. So I definitely recommend getting that Relic weapon. It also allows you to hold two sniper rifles worth of ammo, so you get double the ammo capacity pretty much. I did notice that it's harder to get ammo for the Relic sniper rifle since you can't just get it from sniper rifles found on the field. You have to get it from ammo packs, which you know, they'll only give a little bit of ammo back to that particular weapon. Yeah, so for this part, this is where my gun stopped working. I got glitched and my gun stopped working. So what I do here is wait for these guys basically to get the fuck out of the way. And I run past them, climb up here. And around this point is when I use the stim and I just haul ass through this area. While stemmed, of course, so I can take the extra damage. And then I get down into this area. And I believe I waited here for a decent amount of time for my stim to come back. I don't really do much fighting here because my guns... Well, I do no fighting here because my guns actually don't work. So that's why I'm not firing any shots. What I was trying to do here is trying to revive my downed teammate with Jack, which I think I have the ability to do that, but I don't know if that was even... I don't even think that was working because something was fucking glitched and I couldn't really use anything. Except stim did work, so I wait for stim to regenerate, and then I think I haul ass into that building while stimmed. And by doing that, I was able to get out of this area and get to the next checkpoint. But then, of course, my gun still didn't work, so I thought I might be fucked because I tried restarting previous checkpoint, restarting current checkpoint. None of that worked. So I had to completely exit the game and close the game, close the application, and then restarted. And I came back in, and then when I got back, restarted at my checkpoint, I was able to fire again. So if you do have an issue like that, you can probably fix it by doing that. But yeah, that ends this section. Hopefully your guns will work, but like you see, you really don't need them for that part. You can pretty much run past all that shit with stim. So for this part, there's some positioning tricks that I found. I recommend having at least one sniper rifle on you, but you can get one right there, right by that ladder on the ground. So if you need it, get it. Snipe the first guy by the crates when you come in, and then just get in this area right here. And you can keep retreating into this little shack, and you're pretty much safe. So just use that to clear out all the enemies. Very easy. You just pop out, take a head off, and get back into cover. These guys can all one-hit kill you, so you just want to be safe with that. If you have the relic sniper rifle, you can easily take out the taller enemy, the Scion, I think it is, with double headshots. Since you have, like that. Since I can shoot 2 rounds before I have to reload with that weapon, and you can take them out way faster. So it does make a difference. But either way, it's very easy because you can just keep hiding behind here until you take out all the guys. A few shots to the balls. Otherwise, this section can be pretty hard because it's pretty much all snipers that one-shot kill you, and it's hard to find good cover. So without that little trick that I found, it would be a lot tougher. I did die several times, but then I found it kind of came to me that I could just go in that little area. Now here I was trying to get ammo for my relic sniper rifle, but I couldn't get it off of a regular sniper rifle. So now you see where I mark on the map. I left that in the video because that shows where you can find the next relic weapon, the Boltok. You see where I marked on that map down there? And if you look on the map, you'll be able to line it up and see where it is exactly on the map. Just look at the various landmarks and things and try to match it up on the map, and you'll be able to get an idea where this is. And then once you get to this marker that I laid out, you're going to see a cog symbol, and then see that red cog symbol? That means that there's a relic weapon nearby. So turn to the right, and it's down a little bit. Definitely worth trading in your old Boltok for this one, because as you can see, it fires faster and it has better handling. So definitely a worthwhile upgrade. And right by that is going to be the next optional battle, which I highly recommend, because by beating this little battle here, you get the ability with your pulse move to do 20% more damage on enemies that are highlighted with pulse. So it's a huge upgrade, very worthwhile. So grab the salvo here, I recommend, and take out these robots by trying to group them together and take out multiple at once with the missiles like that. You can eliminate a lot of them. You can pretty much clear them all out before they even get to you if you do that with the salvo. There's plenty of heavy weapons that you can pick up on the field to use on the flock, so you don't really need to save it for that. Finish off the remaining scragglers with your new Gunslinger Boltok. That works really well for taking these guys out, finishing them off. Try to go for those headshots. And then you're going to have 2 flocks at once, which is basically just like a tedious fight, but it's not hard. Just take cover occasionally when you think they're going to bolt out at you when they turn red. But for the most part, you don't really need to go behind cover that often, because they usually won't one-shot kill you anyway. So they will get you to the point where you're in critical damage, but you can always just use your... If you're at critical health for a moment, you can just use your stim ability to give you a brief invulnerability, basically, and survive until you heal. So, use that if needed. But you're unlikely to get killed if you keep moving and shooting at these guys. grab the heavy weapons to speed shit up. There's a heavy weapon up here, a tri-shot, and there may be another salvo somewhere, some other shit. And just, just tear them up. I'll be trying to find as many of the optional battles as I can just so I can get some better abilities and upgrades and shit like that for the later areas. Even though, as I said, this game is way easier than Gears 4 on Insane. It's not even close so far. But I'm sure there'll still be some sections that'll be a little challenging. I think because this game probably has less combat than other Gears games. And, all the abilities really give you an advantage in combat. So, things like that make a big difference. Being able to retrieve weapons with the robot and shit like that, and ammo. And see where everything is with pulse. All that shit really adds up. I do actually like the upgrades and the new abilities for the series. I think that's great. I think some of the open world was a little too bland, too watered down, where you travel a lot, but there's not really anything to do while you travel. It's just pretty much empty area you travel around, which was a common complaint about the game, which I agree with. I mean, it's cool that they tried to implement it, but I think it could have been done better if they were going to do it. But the exploration is kind of cool because, you can find some things like upgrades for your various weapons and abilities and things like that. So there are some good aspects to that. But it could definitely be better, more refined in the next one. But I definitely consider the new abilities and things I think are an improvement because they give you a lot more tactical options in the fights, make it a lot more enjoyable and entertaining. So yeah, here you'll be able to get another salvo or a tripod. You can even take both if you want to transport them back to your skiff and load them on. I just took the tri-shot. I didn't really need all that shit. But you're also going to get the most important thing in that safe, which you do get some components too, but in that safe you'll get a little module or some shit, and it'll basically allow you to... It'll be instantly equipped at all times, and it'll allow you to use pulse to mark enemies for death, which basically means that you can do an extra 20% damage when enemies are in your pulse radius when you use pulse. So it actually gives you a reason to use pulse. If you want to go on the offensive, you can do 20% extra damage, which is huge. So it'll be extremely useful. Now, if you have that equipped, you may not be able to use stim unless you can switch it real fast, which you can do by holding LB. You can switch your abilities pretty quickly. But it can be tricky if you're not accustomed to doing it fast. But yeah, it's definitely something you can use. I'm sure I'll use it on some of the harder parts where I could use, extra damage to take out enemies faster. So yeah, now here I show the next area I go to on the map, which I believe is the next crash site. So just check the map and try to line it up and, to try to find this area. I tried to show more shit on the map this time around in the tutorial. Last time I wasn't really doing that. Because like I said, this is a combat-focused tutorial, so I wasn't really showing where things are. Like, I don't show where any of the components are, really, you know what I mean? But I figured I would show some certain things, like it's important to get those upgrades, like the pulse upgrade is important, and those two relic weapons, the sniper rifle and the bolt tack, are very important, I think, for Insane. Very useful anyway. So yeah, you get a little sneak attack here by one of the robots. So just take that out right away. Grab the little tri-gun right here that was in the snow. I would say save it, don't use it yet. Just kill these guys normally. Because there's going to be a big robot that comes out where you're going to be able to really use that tri-shot. So You could probably even save that tri-shot for the helicopter boss fight coming up. It might actually be useful, but you'd have to use it very carefully by using the stim ability while firing it, probably, because it's very slow when you pop in and out of cover, and it takes long to fire. So you probably want to be in stim mode when you fire at the helicopter. So that's another option if you think you're gonna have trouble with the helicopter. Maybe save that tripod weapon for that. You also have a salvo weapon a little bit farther in this area that you can use on the helicopter, which is useful, but it doesn't have enough missiles to kill the helicopter. So if you want to have both power weapons, you could try to hold on to both. It's definitely an option. I ended up using the tripod weapon on the large robot to kill that. I didn't beat the helicopter yet, so that's why this video ends before I defeat the helicopter. I don't even think I show the helicopter, because I'm going to show that in the next video, along with probably a lot of other combat. But I figured I had enough combat footage here to do the next tutorial video. 20 to 30 minutes I feel is a good length for, for a part in the video, so I thought it would be decent enough. If I have under 20 minutes, then I'll usually, wait and combine the videos later. Or I might show it in the case of if a chapter was really short, then I may show it just to show the whole chapter in one video so that it's more organized. But chapters are usually longer than 10 minutes of combat. They usually have a decent amount of combat in them. I think some of them are just moving around and exploring and shit like that, so I didn't even include those in the tutorial. I'm only showing combat for the most part. I just wanted to get to the fucking point, I know when I just know from experience when I'm trying to look for different strategies and things in games that I'm stuck on or whatever, or moving slow on a part, then I like to get straight to the part that I'm on, and I don't like to see a lot of other shit. That's just me. So, when I make tutorials, I make shit the way that I want to see it done. So I think that offers a little something different and unique. I try not to have filler in my tutorial videos. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next part.